magic, let's dive in.
So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place.
In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos, I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Moon of infinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend.
Hey everyone. Hopefully you guys are having a good night. Man, oh man, I have been here all week long. I have been working, guys. I've been doing private readings. I've been doing offline readings. You get more from me over on Instagram right now. It may not always be that way, but that is how things have been going, at least this week. I was off Monday. We took a snow day because it snowed probably collectively about 10 to 12 inches, but it melted halfway through because we had freezing rain. So like the accumulation at one time was only ever about 5 or 6 inches. But it was a snow day and we just enjoyed it. And then the last couple of days I've just been doing readings outside of here. But I figured it's Friday, might as well show up. People have probably been wondering where I am. So I promise I have been working, I just haven't been here. Hopefully you guys are prepared for a really great weekend. I know it's Fridays for most people. They're probably really happy. But let's go ahead and get started with our 3 yes nos. And thank you guys for liking the live stream. I really appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance to do so now, make sure you do that. The only thing I ask is that you like the live stream, especially if you're asking for a free question. Donations are open. So we have one person on the list now. If you guys want to get on the list for the evening, you won't be waiting too long as of right now, but I can't guarantee that's how it's going to be. Once the donations start rolling in, it could get pretty busy pretty quickly. So first person is Mature. So Mature says, does my crush like me? Let's see. I have a yes, Mature. I have the 8 of Pentacles. This also can talk about someone you work with or go to school with or something as well. So that's interesting. Smiley. Smiley, I have a yes. I have the 6 of Wands. Nannies. Nannies, I have a no. We have the Moon. Ocean Summer. Yes, King of Wands. This also can talk about potentially promotion. So I don't know if you're looking for promotion within your current company, Ocean Summer, or if you're looking for a new job that will give you a promotion. But that card is kind of like a leader, someone who's in charge, something like that. So that's an interesting message if it resonates. Sweeter. Sweeter, I have a no 10 of swords. It did say maybe at first with the 6 of swords. So I was like, all right, well, which way are we leaning? So we're leaning towards a no. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but most likely not. I cut the deck again. We have the 5 of cups. So I don't think so. Hannah. Hannah. Yes. The 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is kind of like karma adjacent. It's essentially like reaping what you sow. And sometimes that's really good because you've worked hard, and then sometimes whatever it is you've done can make you feel bad. Usually it's seen in the positive form, but it can indicate that whatever has happened or whatever has gone down, he carries this with him. Please make sure you guys are liking the live stream. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Where are we at? Bria. You're welcome, Mature. Angelus, welcome in. Hi, Nessa. You're welcome, everyone. All right, this is for Bria. Oh, it's 11:11 where I'm at, guys. I have a yes, 2 of Cups for Bria. Sophia. I have a no, 5 of Cups. Diana. Sienna. I'm gonna go with yes. It is the High Priestess, and some readers would say it's a maybe. Some readers would say it doesn't. It's basically the things that you're not supposed to know. So they don't know how to answer. But according to this deck, as a yes/no question, this card means yes. But it is the High Priestess, so it indicates things yet to be revealed. So it's really, really important that you use your intuition around this time. Boss Lady. Yes, Queen of Wands. Angelus. Angelus, I have a yes for you. I have the World. Sophie. I have a no, the 10 of Swords. You're welcome, Nessa and Anna and Sienna. Nessa. So I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Nessa. Like, are you asking if she's going to work with you, work with your schedule? Is she going to make adjustments? That's how I'm taking your question. So let's see. I have a yes, 3 of Cups. She's going to do her best. if she says no. I think because I had the 3 of Cups for you, Nessa, but it was also the Queen of Wands in reverse. Now, that makes me feel like she might have her hands tied in certain areas and she may not be able to make 100% of your accommodations, but I do think she's going to try to work with you. White chick. Yes, Ace of Wands. Gabriella. You got to be vigilant, Gabriella. I would say I have the, okay, so here's the thing. I have the Page of Swords, which means do your research, be very hyper vigilant, be aware, be observant. It doesn't mean that you will not be safe, but they want you to use your own discernment. If you feel like there's been high crime, you've got to like take that into consideration. As of right now, it feels like a yes, you'll be fine. But I guess what I'm trying to say is make the best decision for you. Like, just don't put yourself in something that you might regret later. Bree. Bree, this is the same card for you, the High Priestess. As I mentioned earlier, this is things yet to be revealed. You're not supposed to know everything that happens between you and this person. For whatever reason, Spirit doesn't want to tell you outright. But this is a yes card for me, and I do have the 9 of Cups underneath it all. So I think that there could be something, I guess they want you to prepare yourself for something good happening here. Ari. Hey guys, I'm running over with the time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer many more people. Philomena, the list. We have Eliana. Then we have M Wins. And then we have Sweeter and Boss Lady. Oh, Sweeter. Thank you for the tip, girl. You guys are awesome. So we have 4 people on the list, Philomena. Thanks, let's see. Where are we? Oh, people are having conversations in the chat. Sherry Crease. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but yes, donations are still open. And I'm about to post the list here in a second. Yes, you can absolutely donate. All of the prices are in my description. All right, let me close out this free list so that way I can move on to donations. Okay. Ari. Yes, we have the Ace of Wands. This is the card of attraction. Bake. Why the laughing emoji? You're funny. I'm getting a yes. We have the Emperor. High Priestess. Yes, King of Pentacles. It is very direct for that kind of question. You're right. You're welcome, Ari. You're welcome, High Priestess. All right. So let's get the list here. Nations. You're welcome. Okay, so this is the list as of right now. You are more than welcome to pay to skip if you would like. That will move you up on the list. It's $5, or if you're worried about being skipped, you can donate $5 to hold your spot. The only person that cannot be skipped is Eliana because she was a pre-order, and those are immune. It's like the most I can do this. If you cannot stick around, please make sure you are leaving your question with me. That'd be fine. Yes, thank you. And if you don't want to do either of those two things, then just make sure you're here for your turn. Where are we? High Priestess, you always come in so late. I'm never able to catch when I have money. Oh, friend, I'm so sorry. Yes, absolutely. I would love to do a personal for you. Personals are a little more flexible because you can schedule yourself and select a time. I just ask for 24 hours notice. You can't, you're like the way that my template is, you can't even schedule like within 24 hours. You have to schedule 24 hours in advance at least. But yeah, if you want to do personal, feel free. And then I also offer offline readings a couple times a week where I do your reading within my own time frame, but I make sure that I get it to you before I go to bed, and I go to bed really late. So you'll have it either, if you're still awake, or you can listen to it when you wake up, maybe while you're getting ready for work or something, but that's always an option. And those are at the same price as a live stream, so I don't upcharge for those, even though they're technically like a personal reading, because they're a recording. I just keep it the same price. Hey, Eliana. All right, girl. What would you like to do first? Donations are open, by the way, if anybody needs to know or if anyone's curious. Well, what is your question? Is your question about him or something different? I know I got reading by Lynn in the past, and she's always super honest with the reads. She tells me about myself sometimes. I know people like it because I'm do the channel first. Okay, I try to be honest, but at the same time, I hope that I come across as empathetic, even if I'm not delivering like the best news possible. I do hope that you guys still feel like a sense of comfort in my readings, because I want to do what's best for you, but at the same time, I know that people don't come to me to be completely roasted, and so like I try to have compassion there. So I hope that does come across. Oh, thank you, friend. I appreciate that. I would consider myself both. Okay. So let me grab my iPad real quick. It was charging. His next actions for in depth. Okay. All right. So Luna, he knows I need to hear the truth about myself. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. So you get readings from her, I take it? That's hilarious. I feel like Eliana is really good at like being very straightforward too. She just has, but she can get away with it. Like if I'm straight up mean, no one would come to me. But I think Eliana, her delivery is just really good, so she can tell the truth and she can like be really honest and blunt with you. But at the same time, I feel like it reads really well. You know how some people, so, well, like one person can say something, another person can say something, and like they come off really funny, but the other person just sounds like a total asshole. Like that's what I feel like. I feel like it reads in Eliana's energy to be very straightforward, and it comes across very like healing, and like people are like, yeah, I totally get it. I don't feel like I come across that way. I feel like if I'm mean, then people are just like, wow, what a jerk. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah. That's what it is, High Priestess. It's like it feels cold or something. But at the same time, I know people respond to authenticity, and I'm just not a like I'm a jokey person. I have a really good sense of humor, but I'm not like, and I'm blunt, but I feel like I'm more authentic when I say the truth, but like add a positive spin to it. I don't know. That's just me. Or maybe it's me overthinking. I don't know. But you said she's always got to talk you off the ledge and you're good for the night and back at it in the morning. They know I mean well. Sometimes they give a collective, y'all have to stop being victims. See, Eliana, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Like you really know how to speak the truth. And I feel like people love it. I think also too, you have a little bit of that like Latina flair. You've got like the accent, and I don't know. It's sometimes I feel like people who have accents, if they're being very blunt or being very straightforward, that also helps too. Um like imagine if like a British person was telling you off. I think you'd think it was endearing. I don't think you'd think it was like mean, even if it was. I can't get away with it. That's all I'm saying. I think people would stop coming to me. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Here's the funny. All right. Eliana, I'm working on your channel message now. Okay. Hey, Aesthetic. I'm so sorry you missed the free list, friend. For those of you who are just joining in, I'm working on a channeled message for Aliana. So if you have any questions, I am here to answer. I'm monitoring the chat. It's going to be a little quiet for a few minutes. By the way, while I am here with you guys, I don't know if you guys know Amy. I think her name is Amy Savin on YouTube, and she's in here all the time. And I have her as a moderator, even though I don't have moderators. I haven't heard from her in a couple weeks. I'm curious, since you guys are on here quite a bit, if you guys have seen her in any of the other chat rooms. I haven't seen her online. And we haven't talked since Christmas Eve, and I'm like getting a little worried about her. So if anyone has seen her, let me know. Yeah, you haven't seen her? I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know where she's at, and I'm getting worried because it's not like her, you know? You've only ever seen her in here, but if you do see her, you'll let her know. Yeah, let her know. I mean, I just want to know she's around. But I do know that she's more like drawn to my live stream. And, you know, just like with all of you guys, I build a rapport outside of here. So it's like, it's a little worrisome just because it's out of the normal. This time of year, I'm sure, is very hard on her because of what happened a year ago. She's coming up on the anniversary of a very like traumatic thing. But at the same time, like, this is not typical. And what's even scarier is the fact that, like, just before we were just talking, like, in the middle of December, and she was like, oh, there's a serial killer on the loose where I live. And I'm like, okay. And obviously I didn't think much of it. And I still don't think that, but I'm like, that's not like the greatest conversation to have just before someone just completely goes missing. So like, I even like did a deep dive, try to find her on Facebook and stuff, and I did, but there's no posts or anything recent, and it's been a couple of weeks. So yeah, if you see her, let me know. I hope everything's okay. He's feeling kind of sad. Not like super sad, but I don't know. I'm getting like a somber energy from him tonight. You had your first disagreement this morning. Yeah. Well, we'll put it this way. I've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Nine of Wands in reverse, the Four of Swords in reverse, the Magician in reverse, and the Eight of Swords in reverse, and then the Sun upright. It feels to me like he I don't know, it's like a lack of power or something. A lack of, no, control. That's the word. Control. That's the energy you got from him. Wow, okay. Hey, Stacy. Okay, friend, I'll move you up the list, okay? He's saying a lot tonight, man. Maybe because you guys aren't talking or something. We're almost done. Did you want me to read it out loud like usual, or do you want me to just send it to you? Just so you guys know too, if you never got a channeled message from me, it's a curated, customized message from you. Channeling is what I'm known for. I would say it's like the main thing I'm known for. And it's $35, but you get also like a copy of this letter, and you can ask about any person in particular if you're wanting to get some messages from them. It's not a question you can ask, but it's like whatever energy I can pull from them, and then you get to keep it. It gets sent to you and you get to keep it. You said possibly because you've been talking every day for a while now. I can read it. Okay. Thank you, Philomena. I'll add you to the list, friend. Okay. Just a reminder, leave your questions with me if you don't think you're going to stick around for your turn. Luna is really the best at channeling. Thank you. Thank you, Eliana. I appreciate that testimonial. Oops. Okay, so he says, I feel the weight of my own thoughts pressing down on me, and it's been hard to find the right way to express this. But I need you to know that I'm coming from a place of deep reflection. I feel like I sometimes get hung up between what I want to do and what I'm actually capable of doing. I feel resistance from myself when I think about moving forward with conviction. I feel like I've lost some of our direction, like too focused on the details and not the bigger picture. I've been holding back, not releasing the progress that I want from this. It's frustrating that I haven't been putting in the effort that I know I'm capable of. I close off and get defensive, and it's holding me back from truly engaging with the present. I've pulled back, afraid to let anything else drain me. If I stay like this, I'm afraid everything might fall apart, including myself. Which is why I feel like I think really the disappointment lies within him, if I'm channeling that right. Like that I feel like is he feels very disappointed in himself. Like he's kind of like, man, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Why do I not do that? Like it feels like a very much almost like self-deprecating in a way. Just, but being like very, very self-critical. Oh, that's not good. 4444 on the clock, guys. All right. His next actions. Okay. You're not even surprised he's in that energy. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, I don't really know what to say, but I can imagine it's not a good feeling for either of you to be in this place. All right, we're doing it in depth for his next action. Also, let me update this list real quick for everyone. We are still working on Eliana, but she is halfway done. Stacy paid to skip, so she's going to be next. You needed it with a straight to the point text. Oh, you ended it with a straight to the point text. Oh, yeah. Send me a screenshot. I'm curious. Okay, guys, that is the order. Stacy moved up on the list because she paid to skip. If you guys are curious, that's what happened there. His next actions. It seems like moving forward, but maybe even moving on. We have the Chariot in reverse. That's like lack of direction. He doesn't feel like, he feels a little lost. Like he feels like he doesn't know where this is going or what he should do about it. So when the Chariot is in reverse, the Chariot talks about, it's a number 7. So it talks about taking action, and it talks about like really getting things done, stepping up, taking the lead. That in reverse feels like he's going to let this be what it is. Like, I don't feel like a strong will to fight for this. He's very, very disappointed in himself. But as far as action goes, I think he might just say it is what it is. Let me see your message here. Wow. So, Eliana, this is what's happening. He that kind of comment usually works for him, okay? And he expected you to drop everything and backtrack. That's what that is. Um Something tells me that talking to people like this is something that's worked for him in the past. And I will say that he should have known that that wasn't going to work well here. That I feel like he immediately even knew that. I think even after sending that message, before you even responded, he knew that. And I think that needs to reprogram the way in which he handles high value people, but high value women. I think he immediately knew that was not going to come across the way that it's not going to provide the result that it normally does. I think he truly thought you would say, "Oh my God, no, totally not," like backtrack, etc., etc. He's not used to having to put in more with someone. And I think that that's the problem. But he's giving like Aquarius vibes. I gotta be honest. He's giving like air sign. But I feel like air sign men, let me be specific, air sign men. And I think that's why air signs get a bad rep, because most of the people that are into astrology are women, and most of the women have bad experience with air sign men. Either that, or these air signs simp over them and they never like let them go do what they need to do. It's like this weird extreme of like completely attached or completely detached. It's so crazy. You're so glad you sent it to me because you felt the same. And that to me shows that he needs to grow up. Like, I'm so sorry, but I'm also not sorry. That is the sign of someone who refuses to get out of their own way. And he thought that instead of accepting responsibility and holding himself accountable for coming across a certain way that was making you feel some type of way, a real healed masculine energy would have said, "Oh my God, that is totally not the case. Let me tell you what's been going on with me. I really never wanted to make you feel like that." That is how a real healed masculine would come across. So this was more like a deflection back on you. And it really seems like, as far as his actions go, he is going to like let it unwind the way that it's going to. He's going to call it off. It is what it is. Whatever will be, will be. And it's really disappointing because it's almost like you guys had a really, really, really great time. And he's doing all of the wrong things, thinking that it's going to yield a certain result that it always has in the past. And you're not going to play like that. What he doesn't understand is you don't fuck with intuitive people. You don't do that, because that person's going to read you like to filth. You know what I mean? And I think for you, hey, James. Okay, sounds good. I think for you, you can see that from a mile away. Not only that, but is he kidding himself because you have dealt with that kind of person before? Like, does he think that he's the first to do this? The first kind of person that has communicated with you in this way or made you feel this type of way? That is a red flag for you. And what's disappointing is that you guys had a really, really, really great time. And it's almost like the program doesn't work for intuitive women who are on a healing journey. That whatever worked for you with the low vibrational person is never going to work with a high vibe. It's never going to. It's going to literally blow back in your face. And so he thought, oh, well, if I show her all this attention and we get together and we date and the date goes really well, I can get her hooked on me and then I can start like decreasing, like the love bomb thing. Like I can start decreasing my effort and whatever. Like, no, that's never going to work. They're going to cut you off. Like, and the thing is that he likes you and oh shit, this did not go the way that I thought it was going to. And now he's like, shit, did I completely just like put my foot in my mouth? Did I completely screw this up? And I think inside, intuitively, he doesn't want to be that person that he's been in the past, but old habits die hard, and he's doing it to the wrong one. And I think that he's really feels like he screwed himself up. So you might have been a lesson, Eliana. Like he might go, okay, if I come across someone like that again, I won't ever do that again, But what I think is going to happen in the new, like not recent, but in the near, that's the word I was looking for, in the near future, he's going to kind of back away a little bit. But Eliana, he's kind of already addicted to you. We have the 6 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. So he is very, very like regretful of what has happened. And not that he's going to hold himself accountable, not that he's going to say I was wrong. I hope he does, but not that he's going to. I do think, though, that he might try to re-enter your orbit at some point, in the near-ish future, and see if maybe you guys can start over from that little faux pas, whatever. I do think that will happen because I think that he's very much into who you are, and I think that he knows that you're not like anyone else. And so yeah, like you got to give it a little time, but he might come back around. But what's going to happen first, he's going to try to move on, though. That's what's going to happen. He's going to try to just be like, whatever, wasn't meant to be, and move on. But I think that with time, then he's going to start being like, wow, she got away. Is there any chance? Can I come back around? Because we have the card of reunion. So I think for you, all you need to do is just be you. You're not waiting around for him. You're just living your life, and let him take this into his own hands and do whatever it is he's going to do. Because I think at this point he offended, and that is something he needs to come back from. He said, the funny thing, you right away knew when you saw the message from him, you felt it was manipulative. Oh, 100%. You've been there, done that. Like, what the signs. And these people, man, they really think like you guys haven't been through this stuff before. It's just crazy. It's just so crazy. So you said, glad he feels that way since he's addicted to you. Yeah. And you're not chasing him either. Yeah. I think it's up to him. It's up to him to make it up to you. And really, Eliana, I know he only has one more shot, if that. So he really needs to do with it what he will. But just always remember you have the Six of Cups energy from him right now. And so you can expect him to come back around. But I think he needs some time to lick his wounds, because I think that he knows he messed up, and I think he's kind of like, whatever, like, I think right now he's just almost like wanting to blame you in a way. And so he's just kind of bitter and kind of upset. But I do think that after like a period of time, he's going to start thinking to himself, wow, like, I miss her. I don't think I'm going to find someone like her. I really liked what we had going, etc., etc. So, but for right now, though, he might think, whatever. I don't need her. Like, it is what it is. Like, that's fine. But I think he will start to change his mind. You know, that's what I'm getting. So, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Okay. So next up, we have got Stacy. He self-sabotaged. Exactly. But he didn't do it intentionally. He just needs to reprogram himself, because he's doing what he like thinks will work, and it's not going to work on you. And so, you know, it's kind of like a science project. It's like, well, if it works every single time, then it's bound to work again. However, you're a variable that has changed because you're not the same as other people. And so he kind of feels like he put his foot in his mouth. And I think there's immediate regret, but at the same time, it requires, you know, reflection on himself to figure out what went wrong and what needs to change. And I think you encourage him to want to do that. But again, old habits die hard. So this is going to be some work for him to get there. Have a good night, girl. All right, Stacy. I told my boyfriend that I need a break from the relationship until the end of the month. How is this going for us? I feel like I'm already having a hard time, and it's been 2 days. Stacy, I'm sorry, girl. I feel like you're completely supported by your spiritual team. I feel like, you know, your ancestors and all those that are looking out for you are very much supporting this decision. They know that this is a challenge for you, and it's a little out of your comfort zone to make this decision, and that you're kind of like challenging. When I say challenging tradition, I don't mean challenging everyone's tradition. I just mean challenging your own tradition, because you're used to doing things a certain way. You're used to being with him. Maybe you normally in relationships, you conduct yourself in a certain way, and this is just completely different than what you're used to doing. Or maybe it's like unconventional to you, or it feels like just kind of completely out of your comfort zone. But they're saying that you are very supported. The cycle was just too much. I get it. Whoops, my cup fell. You both said you'd stay committed to each other, not jeopardize the relationship. No, that's good. I'm also glad that you had that conversation, because a lot of times people don't know where the lines are. You know, they don't know. They think, some people might think it's a break, some people might think it's not. But I will say, this is what I will say. Even if you take a break from someone, and even if those conversations aren't had, I believe that if you truly love someone, you're not going to, and you're only taking a month apart, you're not going to go try to find someone else or do something or whatever. This is not your opportunity to break free from that relationship and just go live your life and do whatever the hell you want. I personally feel that way, because I didn't have that conversation with my husband now. But we had like a situation that happened like back in 2019, and we did take a little bit of a break, but we never had that conversation of like, are you going to see anyone? Are you going to see anyone? Like, we're going to be committed, da, 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 da. We never talked about that. And neither of us ended up ever, we stayed committed, during that time. It wasn't no contact. It was, we did talk to each other at the end of the night, every single night, even if we didn't talk or have conversations, but we did tell each other we loved each other every single day. And it did keep us connected in that way, but the future of the unknown was absolutely breaking my heart. And obviously we got through it. We're married now. It's been years. So much has changed in our life. But I truly believe that if you really love someone and you're committed to that relationship, the conversation doesn't even need to be had, because you're not going to go off and do something. You said you agree, you both love each other, you just need space to think about how you can be better to each other. So I am happy, though, to hear that you did have that conversation, because that just hopefully will bring you peace of mind that might make you stay a little bit stronger during this time, knowing that. I definitely see the card here of independence in the positive position. It's upright, and it's indicating that this was very, very good for you and that your hard work will pay off. This is going to be a very challenging time for you, but it is going to be beneficial for you in the end. We talk about this will give you a lot of time for self-reflection and quote unquote shedding the old. And you're not necessarily letting go of him, but you are loosening the reins during this time, because you're going to go through a little bit of period of self-discovery. You're going to realize that you can, if you hold on to it, if you stick with it, and you really do make it to the end of the month, I think you're going to realize that it's not so much about needing to be together, it's about wanting to be together. You realize you can do things on your own. You're fine on your own. It's not like you can't be your own person. So you start to discover some things about yourself, because the hardest thing you could do is not be together. And you got through it. You know what I mean? So I think you'll learn a little bit about yourself. I hope he will too. Let me pull some cards on him real quick and see what's going on with him. Yeah, that's good. It's good that you guys have that conversation, because it's going to make this a little bit easier to bear. How is he feeling? How is he feeling? How is this going to go for him? I think that he's having, or he was having, I'll say he was having a little bit of a hard time with this, but I do think he agrees it's for the best. It's funny. You have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is like letting go, and he has the Four of Pentacles upright of holding on. So I feel like you're more willing to go through this than he is. But I do think that logically he understands where this is coming from. I don't know that he believes this is going to fix your problems, but he's thinking that maybe it will regain, it will help us gain clarity, maybe subside anxieties that we've been experiencing, regaining composure, because I think you guys were not composed. You guys were having a lot of disagreements, arguments, fights, however you want to call it. And I think this is going to allow you guys to kind of regain yourself, like regain your composure, kind of get back in touch with yourself. Now, but I do feel from him, though, he doesn't necessarily think that this is what's going to solve all the problems, but maybe he feels this is a step in the right direction. I do have the moon in reverse. So it's like the path is not clear, but my intuition lights the way one step at a time. So I think he might be like trying, because the moon upright, it talks about the things that we keep hidden, the things that we don't look at. You know, we could be working from a place of fear. And so in reverse, it could indicate that he would be doing some self-reflection or inner work. But I think, like I said, I don't think he thinks this is going to solve all your problems, but I do think that he thinks that maybe this is a step in the right direction. I feel like he wants harmony with you. And I feel like he wants you guys to figure out a way to be on the same page. I feel like he feels like he's just trying to go along with it, but I really don't think this is what he wants to do. But he's trying, but that's also how he's feeling. It's not what he wants to do. But like I said, logically, I think he understands where you're coming from. I really do. So, in a sense, he's on board. He might not be as ready as you are, but again, this wasn't his idea. So you can't really ask for much more than that, you know? Does that answer your question? Mm-hmm. Um, I feel this is the hard part because this is what I'm feeling. I feel like he wants things to be better between you guys, okay? Um, I think that he's like, whatever we can do to make this better. But as of right now, I don't necessarily think that he realizes what he's done wrong, which is why it's really important that you, like you said, you'll stay strong and really like make it to the month mark at least, because he really needs this time to kind of self-reflect, and I don't think he's gotten there yet. And if I had said to you right now, yes, he's sorry, I think that would be easy for you to like go back to him right now, because you'd be like, oh, okay, well, maybe it doesn't have to be a month. I don't know. But I personally don't feel like he's quite realized how much of the problem that he is. Like, I don't think he's realized like how much of this has to do with his delivery with you. And I think that's something that needs to be communicated, and needs to be looked at. And I think that he'll have to, I guess, analyze those parts of himself. And it's going to take longer to do that than 2 days, you know? Yeah, I don't think he's realized yet. Yeah, you don't think so either. Okay. Yeah, making it to the end of the month will be important for sure. So, Stacy, that's what I've got, friend. I'm proud of you. I know that you're supported. You're divinely supported on this decision. And I do hope that as I feel, you will get more clarity, get more composure, get more understanding. Highly recommend inner work for yourself as well. Journaling will be important, writing down your thoughts, or doing like a vlog style video of how, checking in with yourself every day and just seeing the progression of how you changed over the course of 30 days might be very inspiring to you. But just overall, focusing on yourself right now as much as you can, because I think at the end of this, you're going to realize like what is working, what's not working, and how you want to proceed. Hey girl, let me pull up my email real quick. I assume you sent it to Luna Affinity email. That might be the only one you have of me. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. You said you hope you want to be in the relationship at the end of the month. Yeah, I know. And that's the other thing, Stacey, is you got to get like more consistent with your feelings, because going back and forth deliberating just shows that you're really not sure. So once you start to feel consistently one way or the other, you might realize, okay, I went a whole day without wavering. Now I've gone 2 days. Now I've gone 3 days. Now I've gone 4. Now it's been a week. Like, I feel like once you get to that point of knowing if you do or you don't, I think that consistency is what's really going to let you know what decision needs to be made. And maybe you won't feel that, you won't know for sure still by the end of 30 days. Maybe you'll have to, get back into the groove of relationship with him. But I think that you're going to suddenly have like an aha moment of what change needs to be made. And I think you will figure that out in your own time. All right, shuffling for M. All right, so you're coming through as the Strength card. Specifically, I know this is you because you said you're a Leo. What's going on with him? Tell me more about Strength. More about him. So the strength card, so we're talking about good things, right? Specifically, you're asking good things. So what I can get is that you will feel like the connection is getting stronger. Maybe you'll feel like there's more vulnerability in the connection. So the strength card indicates that maybe you're able to, your presence will be able to influence him to be more vulnerable with you, to let you in a little bit more. You might notice like certain, you're welcome, Stacy. You might notice like certain things where you're kind of like, oh, I didn't know that about you. You never told me that before. But that's because maybe he's getting more comfortable and feeling like he can like kind of open up a little bit more with you. The strength card is like, you know, a gentle influence. It's kind of like, you know, it, I don't know how else to explain this. It's going to sound weird when I say it, but like the relationship between like a person and their dog, you know, if your dog is like from like a shelter and you're not really sure what the history is there, and you only have good and pure intentions, but they are like very like guarded, you know, but over time, your gentle influence over them, your consistency, you're showing that you care, you're taking care of them, you're showing that you can be a person that can be trusted, then that dog will start to open up to you more. You'll start to see the real personality and like the real like connection and all of that. So like that's the connection of the strength card. It's a gentle influence. You're not forcing yourself on to the connection. You're just letting things kind of unfold naturally. And I think that you see that translated as something good, something like we're maybe connecting on a deeper level. Therefore, we're feeling stronger. We're feeling more connected. Um, and maybe self-doubt, if there's any self-doubt around the relationship, that will start to go away. A little bit more collaboration between the two of you, a little more willing to grow together and work together and find ways to meet each other in the middle. This could also indicate that um, it also indicates like being a little bit more like hardworking, having like more goals together, more things that you guys want to do to succeed together, and like recognizing and appreciating in one another. And this kind of makes me feel like to some degree you guys create a bucket list or something, like you guys decide together something that you want to do or you want to work towards, and it helps you guys feel more like a team because it's something that you guys are planning on doing together. Let's see, there's a little bit more protection as well that I feel happens in this relationship, being more protective of each other. I don't know what this has to do specifically with your relationship. As I mentioned, it feels like you guys are working together towards a common goal. And so maybe that goal requires money or something, but it's almost like there's saving up. There's like working hard to save up to maybe do something together. And if that resonates, take it. And if not, that's okay. Because basically, the energy of the Four of Pentacles is like holding on to something, like not wanting to let it go. So maybe feeling more security. If it's not financial security, maybe feeling more security in the relationship. We also have the Ten of Wands in reverse. In that, upright usually talks about a lot of burdens and heaviness and like hardships that you kind of feel like you carry alone, but it's in reverse. So that makes me feel like possibly you find a way where you can alleviate each other's stress a bit, and maybe feel like it's not just completely one-sided, that someone else that has been carrying the load for a long time feels like maybe some of the weight is taken off their shoulders and some of the responsibility is shared. The Magician here is a great manifester, so really just like making the things that you want happen in your relationship very easily because you guys are co-collaborating. He said this is resonating. We just went through a rough patch during the holidays, but we have been working past that and things have been feeling better. I'm happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. We have the sun. I've got to throw out there, it doesn't mean pregnancy, but it does have to do with children. So if you guys have children, then you guys are putting a lot more focus in like togetherness and quality time. You guys might, another interpretation of this would be like tapping more into your inner child and being more playful together in your relationship. Alternatively, it could mean that you guys get pregnant, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. It's not a guarantee that's going to happen, but it's possible. You've been hearing pregnancy a lot. Okay. Well, there you go. And I do feel like a bit of more of a spark. I feel like a bit more passion in the connection with the Knight of Wands. I feel like you guys are more willing to kind of just like do things, maybe get a little more spontaneous, kind of shake things up a little bit. Because, you know, sometimes in relationships you can feel kind of like routine, like you're kind of stuck in a rut. And I do know there's a lot of people that like that feeling of predictable days in relationships. They feel very comfortable there because it helps regulate their nervous system and they don't feel like, you know, strung out wondering what's going to happen. They're not like addicted to that like dopamine of adrenaline. But I do know that some people feel when they're stuck in a rut that the relationship feels like it's like not as good, it's not as vibrant. So I feel maybe you guys will be trying to find ways to make things more exciting in your life together. You said, good thing I'm on the pill, no babies till after you're married. Yeah, that's a good plan. I like that plan. But Em, let me know if that answers your question. Hopefully it does. The person that is next, if they're okay with me running to the bathroom real quick, I would really appreciate that. Let me see who's next. Boss lady, if you're okay with me running to the bathroom, let me know. If you're in a hurry, I can wait, but you said that's the plan. You're welcome, Em. You're welcome. You know, she said that's fine. Okay, good. You're on the phone. Okay, perfect. All right. Let me go do that real quick. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for your donation. I will be right back, friends. You guys should probably take the time to do that yourself if you need to. Go grab a drink. Make some tea. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. It took me an extra minute or so because it's snowing and I know that my husband's on the way home soon and he's got to drive in it. So I figured I would just, while I had a minute, just go check and see how bad it is out there. It doesn't look too bad, so keep hoping for the best. Hopefully doesn't have any issues and gets home safe. So first, well, who wants to go first? You or boss lady? Let me know. Like all out of breath. What's wrong with me? Thanks, friend. Okay, boss lady, what would you like to know? How are things going, by the way? When you guys get into contact, will he correct his wrongdoings and get you back on track? Let's see. When they get into contact, will he correct his wrongs and get them back on track as a family? Same. Yeah, usually much doesn't change in a week. When they get back into contact, will he correct his wrongs? Will he correct his wrongs? Will they get back on track as a family? Will they get back on track as a family? Oh yeah. You guys will. You'll be good. What I will say, is you're dealing with a very stubborn person. It's hard for him to compromise. He's very rigid, it seems. In certain situations, like I don't know, I'm getting like very defensive. Oh my god. By the way, guys, I'm working on something called the Destiny Matrix. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before, but I want to, once I start doing it, like, you guys need to get a reading from me because it is a esoteric system like astrology or numerology, but it's based off of tarot, and it tells you the blocks, and it tells you if you are a type of person, like why you guys are together, why you guys are in the relationship. It talks about who the person is individually and what they shouldn't do, because if they do certain things, certain things are going to happen to them. So what I'm picking up intuitively right now, I'm still learning it, so it's going to be a little while, but for instance, your husband, boss lady, if he resists change, this is not good for him. It will start affecting his immune system. It's going to start manifesting in physical ways. He might start getting more sick more often. So this isn't good for him. to resist change. He needs to be continually on the trajectory of growing. It affects him worse than it affects the average person. And this is not good. So I'm just letting you know. But I'm getting definitely like a more defensive type of energy from him at this time. But I'll go back to what I said. I think you guys are going to be fine. I have the Queen of Pentacles. So when I asked specifically, will he correct his wrongs? And I have yes. And I have the wife card, the wife and mother card. Okay. And then I asked, will this get you guys back on track as a family? And I got a yes, and I got the family card. Okay, I don't know how much more clear this can be. You got the wife card for him correcting his wrongs with you, and you got the family card for getting you guys back on track as a family. And then I said, tell me more about that family card, and I have the Two of Cups of partnership, unity, love, happy couples, happy families, happy relationship, being in harmony. We also have the Tower in reverse, which talks about picking up the pieces and starting anew. So what this is going to look like is you guys will get back on track, but you're going to be on a different track. Okay, so metaphorically speaking, let's say you're on road A. Road A is filled with a lot of obstacles. There's branches, there's trees in the way. You kind of have to off-road in certain areas, and it's just really not working out. And you guys have to say, let's GPS a new route. Okay. And somehow that road A turns into road B, and you don't have obstacles. You have a clear way ahead. You're completely open. As you guys know, I speak in metaphors because I want to help you understand the feeling that I'm getting invoked by spirit. And so what they're saying is yes, it will get you back on track, but just know this is not going to look how it did before. It's going to be different. There's going to be different things. You might live in different places. You might live in a different house. Your family might look different. Like, you're getting back on track in a more productive, better way, but it's not going to look how you thought, is what I'm hearing. Another thing I offer is something called astrocartography. I offer this sometimes offline in my Instagram stories, but basically it tells you the best physical location based on your birth chart that you should be living. And I could do like a compatibility one, so that way when you guys do come back into union and you guys are together physically, we can tell you like where the best place to live will be. If you are ever interested in that, just send me a message and let me know. I'm happy to look into that for you. But as of right now, you guys are going to be okay. I feel like things just feel very chaotic. You have the Tower here, which makes you feel like there's a lot of resistance to change. That's kind of the energy around you. And that maybe, I don't know, maybe you're bracing yourself for impact. Maybe you're feeling like, I don't know what's to come and I'm worried. And so I need to just protect myself and just be prepared for what's going to happen. But I think that's because things are so unstable right now for you. I think your belief is enough to carry this relationship forward. There's a lot of love here between the two of you. I've always felt it. I felt it since the first reading I did for you. And I think that right now, the hardships that you're experiencing are being manifested because of your circumstances. And I think part of it, big part of it, is his resistance to change. And he's going to start realizing that if he continues down this path, it's going to start affecting his health. And I think that's really what the turning point is going to be for him. So it might already be affecting his health at this point, but I think that he's going to realize that the sooner that he is willing to fix his wrongs and he's willing to kind of set things straight, set things right and stand up for you and protect you and like just overall be that partner that you need, I think his problems are going to really start to go away. So yeah, that's what I've got. Let me know if that answers your question or not. By the way, I want to thank you guys for sending me the little tip that you sent. I really, really appreciate that. I don't get tips very often, so it means a lot to me, and I just wanted to thank you guys for sending that over. You wrote him today. Don't know if you should send it out. Sweeter said, "Wow, okay, yeah. I mean, it's really cool. I'll share more about it, later on. I plan on making like some YouTube videos about it and stuff." Should she send her letter out? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Should she send out the letter? When should she send out the letter? Oh, this is interesting. All right, so I'm getting 2 messages. I'm hearing wait until the 20th at least of this month. They're saying that it's good to get your thoughts out there. It's good that you wrote the letter. It's good to collect your thoughts. But they want you to sit on this for a while, like, a couple of days, like a week. They want you to sit on this and just make sure that there's no revisions that you want to make. Because the energy that you're in right now might be highly emotional. And in a few days, like in a week, you might feel, oh, thank you. You might feel a little bit differently with maybe certain words that you've said or certain words that you've written down. You might want to like rephrase or change things. And so they want you to kind of sit on it for a while. But they feel like you should express yourself because it's the Judgment card. So it talks about like, something that might help motivate self-evaluation for him, like an awakening for him. Like he's going to wake up maybe when he gets this letter from you. And this talks about the final reckoning. It talks about like, this is the last chance, the last straw. He's reaping what he sows, like, etc., etc. But they are saying that whatever it is that you send, the change could be permanent. Or I don't know how to pronounce this word. Like you can't go back from that point. Like it's a point of no return. So you have to be sure that how you're wording things and what you're sending, you mean every single sentence that's going over his way, because the change could be permanent or it could be sent and it's like a point of no return. And I think that's why it's not that they don't support you sending the letter. It's about just being absolutely sure. Cause like, I think that's going to be the point of like, you can't take back anything that you said. And so they just want you to be certain. So I say, give it to the 20th if you can, if that's possible, and just reread it in a couple of days and then another couple of days, and just make sure that you stand behind your conviction in every single thing that you say, because you can't go back. It's the word irrevocable. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. Like unable to be regained recovered, etc., etc. Like, you can't backtrack from what you're sending. Yeah, I mean, it definitely might, because, you know, the judgment card calls for someone to examine themselves and understand that they need to reap what they sow. So judgment is the card where it's like, you know, you've got to now face the results, the consequences of your actions. So it's a good card, but again, my advice would be to wait. So, Sweeter, you want to post your question? Go for it. I feel like anger from him, boss lady. Like, I feel like just rage. Like, and maybe that's a strong word, but it feels like to me just like he's like like upset. Like, he's just like, he can't see clearly right now. He's not thinking clearly. Like, he's and infuriated also sounds like a strong word. I'm not trying to make it seem like he's like pissed off, but like, I feel like he's just more like stewing in his anger, like stewing in his frustration, and like that's more like it. Like, he's more just like, oh, like, I don't know why I'm getting that, and I feel as though you won't get a call while he's in this energy. Like, I feel like he's just, maybe he's up angry with himself, you know, maybe he's stewing in his own frustration because he's like regretful. Who's to say? But I feel like while he's punishing himself for whatever has happened, I feel like he feels he's undeserving or unworthy to communicate with you right now. And maybe he feels like it's just not the best headspace. So I think that he needs to feel kind of like a release or a relief before he communicates with you. So it's not that he's not going to call you or I'm not seeing it. It's just I don't think while he's in that energy that he will, if that makes sense. That's what I think. You're picking up on 100%. Oh, sweeter, thank you so much. I did that one without a card. I did that one just channeling it. That's why I always say, like, getting channeled readings from me, it's like, it's good. I mean, Eliana said earlier, I do really well with channelings. I mean, I try. I feel like that's what I'm known for, but obviously, like, next to tarot. All right, how is Milo and you currently? You been having dreams about pregnancy with him. And Kaija has been as well. Oh my gosh. Based off of what he's been saying, he's been acting serious. He messaged you today. Your brother is upset because he knows your mom's lying. Wait, now I'm getting confused. Yeah. All right, sweetheart. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit confused between when you're talking about your friend, boss lady, versus when you're talking about Milo. So let me know. I'm a little confused about my brother's upset because he knows your mom's been lying and trying to ruin his relationship. Is that in reference to just like what's going on with you right now, or does that have to do with Milo? Boss lady, I'm so sorry you're not doing so well. I really feel for you. Oh. Okay. The brother comments. Wait, hold on. Okay, wait. So, sweeter, are okay. So, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I had no idea that boss lady's husband is your brother. I never knew that. This is the first for me. That's like, imagine me not knowing that information and then being confused about that comment. I had no idea that. Did I? I don't think I did. Good thing I'm not talking shit on him, right? No, I'm just kidding. I had no idea. That is crazy. Ah, I see. Okay, this is making sense now. Okay. So okay, so your brother messaged you today, aka boss lady's husband. Oh my god, no freaking way. Wow. Oh, that's wild. That is wild. Okay. So your brother, sweeter, boss lady's husband, messaged you today, upset because he knows that your mom, your mutual mom, has been lying and trying to ruin his relationship with boss lady. That's what you think, and I'm picking up on it. Okay. So maybe he is pissed off. Maybe he is angry. I don't know, but I'm like, he feels like angry. He feels mad. And I'm like, and I'm confused because it didn't necessarily feel directed. Oh my God, I'm having deja vu. It didn't necessarily feel directed at boss lady. And that's why I was confused saying angry, because I was like, maybe that's not the right word. Because like, I didn't want it to get misconstrued that he was angry at boss lady, but he is stewing in his frustration. And maybe his lesson in this life is to stand up to your mom, because he needs to like find that power within himself to do that. makes so much more sense why you guys are so close, you and Boss Lady. It makes so much more sense now. I thought that you guys were friends and that, Sweeter, you were just tapping into your intuition of understanding. But I realize now that you are doing that, plus you have an extra connection here. Okay. So he hasn't reached out to anyone. You think he's in hermit mode. So once he feels better, he will reach out. Talk your shit because I do. He's in the wrong sometimes. He allows our mother to do evil things and get away with it. She's also trying to ruin my relationships. Jesus. Milo messaged you today. Okay, we're all in the same. Okay, I got it. So, how is Milo and you currently? You've been having dreams about pregnancy with him. And Kai Asia has also been as well. And based off of what Milo, has been saying, Milo is acting serious. You talked today. He messaged you today. My readings are accurate. The keyboard's barely working. She's toxic. You try to be her peace when there is chaos going on in her life regarding your mom. That's so good. I'm really happy you guys have each other. Okay, Sweeter, on to you. All right, how is Milo feeling currently? They're in communication. How's Milo feeling currently? They're in communication. You better tell him, Sweeter. You better tell your brother that if he does not stand up for himself and for her, that it's gonna pay off in a negative way. It's going to start affecting him physically because of the energetic resistance that he has. So, like, if he doesn't want to get sick, if he doesn't want to be immunocompromised, that's what happens a lot of the times. We hold stuff in and then it starts manifesting in other ways, and you got to let it go. He needs to stop wasting time. How is Milo feeling about Sweeter? What is the expression? Why does the expression holding it down for you come to mind? I feel like he's kind of got it bad, Sweeter. But you got to let him keep coming to you is what I'm getting. I think he likes that. I think he likes that you let him kind of take the lead. In that he kind of has to work for you a little bit. I think that that's definitely very good for your relationship. I think you should continue to do that even after you guys make it officially. Not that you can't show him nurturing and love and physical and emotional affection and all of that stuff. But I think he needs to always know that even though he has you, he could lose you. I think that's like a thing for him. That might even be something that you guys do like later on. And I love that I get the tea on you, Sweeter, because you're open to it. You know, I think people who say they want the information don't always want the information. And I swear I get the most like crazy like impressions for you because you want it. But I think that maybe even like later on in life, you guys will do like role play where he wants to see that other men want you. So, like, you guys might go out together. Like, you guys are committed to each other. You're not actually going to, like, go home with another guy. But he wants to watch. He wants to see that another man wants you but can't have you. That's, like, the tea. Because he likes this feeling of, I could lose her. She needs to make me work for it. And it, like I said, it doesn't mean you don't love each other or care about each other. It's like just the element of needing to kind of keep him on his toes is really what makes him drawn to you. And I think that he's going to want that element. So, you know, socially seeing, you know, other men like kind of fawn over you and, you know, talk you up, find you attractive, yada, yada, yada. Like, that's really going to get him going. Like, he wants to see that. He wants to see that you want him. You don't need him. You want him. And he also wants to feel needed also. But it's more so like, I choose you, you know? Like, I'm not desperate for you. I choose you. You said, Kaijin, you've been spiritually in sync a lot. You feel her energy all the time, and she's even pops up in your dreams. You guys are definitely connected, girl. I would love to do, when I do the Matrix, oh, we've got to do so many Matrixes for you guys. We've got to do, like, compatibility between you and your people, you individually, them individually, then maybe, like, you and Kaija together. I don't know. We've got to do it, but basically, we can see if you guys have past life connections. And we can kind of, like, look into, like, if you guys are like, you know, even maybe from the same soul family, things like that. I mean, you'll know it. You'll know if you feel it, but it would be cool to see that confirmation. You stick up for her when it comes to your mom all the time, but your mom has also been making up lies about you, so you understand her. You posted his artwork the other day, and he saw it. You started messaging. You know him. You let him know you're around, but you won't chase him. Definitely. You do that to him already. He definitely matches my energy. We love to roleplay, but he knows there are men wanting me. I told her today we should have asked you to do one for us. That's crazy. Wait, you told Kaija that you guys should have asked me to do one? Do what for you? I feel like I'm like dumb tonight or something. I don't know. Why am I not understanding? But yeah, sweeter. So every time told her not to trust me and that we shouldn't speak, and here we are. Well, that's because here's the thing. You guys are strong. She, like you said, she knows you're the real one. Trying to break the two of you up is obviously going to make you guys less powerful. There's strength in numbers, right? So Milo is really, really likes the idea of fighting for you. You told her that I should do a read for you guys. Yeah, I'm happy you guys are here. I really am. So I feel like Milo really wants to like fight for you, fight for this. He is kind of in this place of like, I will defend, I will protect, I will overcome any challenges. He has stamina here, okay? This is the energy he's feeling towards your connection. He's like territorial over you. It's so interesting. It's so interesting him being territorial and protective over you, yet still he's like, I want to know that other men want her. I don't know. He really likes that. All right. Tell me about. He explains why he wanted you so bad after seeing you and Rashad flirting. Oh my God. That is so funny. Okay, James. He's such a freak. I love it. Okay, I did not know that about you guys, but clearly I'm tapping into the right energy. Tell me about this pregnancy dream here. He's like your real twin. He mentioned you being divine. There could be, oh my God, no, the Empress pregnancy just came out. Pregnancy. Wow. Okay, let me keep going. What's this pregnancy and the world? Okay. Well, this is not a spicy reading. It is coming through that he does have a kink to get you pregnant. That is a kink for him. Okay. Is he ready for that right now? I don't necessarily know. I don't think he'd be opposed to it, but I think that he would feel it's a little premature. Another term in reference to a baby. You told him you want to see him with other women. Oh, girl, you got this whole thing down. James, I have your question. I don't know if I said that. You guys are freaky, but I love it. Yeah, you guys are going to have a lot of fun. Like a lot of traveling, I feel, the two of you, where you guys do this. I think also at some point, if and when you guys have kids, it'll be like a date night thing that you guys go out and do. I see it happening in like hotel lobbies, like very elevated bars, rooftop bars, just like basically places where you go where people won't know you. I think that's the key. You want to go somewhere like you're not going to run into other people. And then I think it's hotel lobbies specifically because you want like quick access to a room to hook up. That's what it feels like. You can feel it energetically, yeah. So the Empress is like, it's more a fantasy, it's more a kink for him to think about getting you pregnant. And because you and Kaija are so telepathically connected, when someone is putting a lot of focus or energy on something, especially sexual energy on something, you if you're naturally tapped in, you can pick up on that. So you might be having dreams of getting pregnant because he is thinking about that in a sexual fashion. Like I said, I don't think he's going to be opposed to getting you pregnant, but I do think it would be a little premature. But it could indicate that this is the person that you'll have a child with. You met Rashad as your DoorDash driver in the hotel lobby? No. He wants to do the same with you. That's crazy. I'm getting specifically hotel. Something with like a rooftop bar, maybe even like a hotel with a rooftop bar. And I'm hearing travel too. So that's definitely something that's going to play out. Does that answer your question, sweeter? James, did you pay to skip? Oh, you paid to skip. Okay. You donated for a skip. I got you. Let me update the donation list as well really quickly here. He said, remember Raven, the reader? She also said she saw this happening. Sweeter, oh my gosh. Really? Sweeter, if you can find it, can you find the video that Raven said that and like tell me what the timestamp is? Because I really would watch it. I'm just curious, like, what energy tapping into, because it's like weird because energies have signatures, and I feel like if I'm picking up on the same frequency that I am now, it will feel very confirming for me. Milo said, "Cece, you'd be a great mom." Aww. I'm exposing you. I'm so sorry. But like I said, it's because you're open to me telling you the truth. That is why. That's why I get the extra details. If people come in here and they're not open to what I have to say, they're going to get very, very minimal things. You have to even say it out loud. Say it to me. I'm open to whatever comes through. I'm not going to resist you. I'm just here for the entertainment. Tell me anything. Because if I feel like you're restrictive or you're feeling like you're wanting a certain answer and try to guide the energy to get me to tell you something, even if I don't fully agree with that, it might be a very limited reading because you're trying to make something energetically happen that's not actually going to happen. And so it feels very, very restrictive. So I really think, sweeter, it's because you want that. So I can pick up on certain things for you like that, which surprised me a lot of the times. That's so funny, though. I love it. Sweeter, out of curiosity, have you left a review for me before? I'm trying to look back to see. I can't remember. I think you did. I think you might have. Because I was going to say, if you haven't, I would love for you to do that because at some point, I swear, I'm going to have my website up and going. She predicted your kinks. Oh my gosh. Please send it to me. Please send it to me. She said I am the best he's had. I excite him, and he's also told me. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, I would say if you guys do that with each other, like that's fine, even if you guys aren't official. But my advice is to make sure that the when it actually happens, like more frequently, that you make sure that you guys are officially committed because you don't want anything to come in the way of the two of you. So just make absolute sure that like you feel that commitment from him before you start doing that kind of role playing very frequently. He adores you and you know he will be an amazing father. But I don't know because I haven't had my cycle. I can't be pregnant right now, but I do believe my body is preparing me. You'll know it. You'll feel it. You really will. Have I had a what from you? Sorry, Kaija was screaming in my ear of excitement. I don't know. I don't know what I said. But maybe if you rewind this live stream, maybe you'll be able to hear it because I already forgot what I said. I just proved her right. She's Team Milo. Aww. Well, I love that. You guys are so supportive of each other. It's super, super sweet. Oh, I think I had asked. I asked if I had a review from you. I think that's what I was asking. Because in my link tree, you can leave a review for me, and I will eventually put it on my website. So that's what I was saying is if you guys feel inclined and want to, I just put the link in the chat. Yes, Luna, that's the same thing I said. I want commitment first, but I love to tease him. So I don't give him too much all at once. It's like equal give and take. Exactly, sweeter. Like he needs to feel secure in it, but you can save all of that for when you guys are official. Like right now, he needs to keep feeling like he needs to work for something. Like he needs to feel like he can lose you at any moment. That's really just like what keeps him invested in this. And like I think it won't be needed as much the longer you guys are together, but I still think he's gonna like that element just for the sake of chemistry. Oh, thank you so much, sweeter. I will love that. I will definitely share that out if you tag me. I did hear Rashad is mad and jealous right now, but that's too bad. Yep, he fumbled. Moving on. I'm sure that is validating for you, but at the same time, you probably don't even care anymore. All right, so James paid to skip, so he is next. Then we have Philomena. He donated for a skip, so I'm going to go ahead and get his taken care of. Thank you, ladies. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. And I love how you guys can be happy for each other, even if you're maybe personally going through something that's not easy. You guys are still happy for each other. That right there shows like a really solid friendship and sisterhood. Hi, Aisha. I just saw your review. That is so special. Thank you very, very much. That's a very touching review. I really appreciate you taking the time to do that. That's why Milo should be careful with you. I will leave you alone to show I have respect for myself. 100%. Thank you, Luna. I'll continue to stay in the live until the end. You're welcome. Yeah, hang out. All right. James channeled a message. All right, James, we're going to get started with your channeled message. Where's my iPad? Oh, there we go. First, with the channeled message, as usual. So for those of you guys who are hanging out, the channeled message, it's like you're not going to hear much talking from me for about 5 to 10 minutes. It is what I'm known for. It's a channeling. It's a custom curated message from your person to you. It's $35 in my description. And it's basically what I'm known for outside of tarot. So it's definitely, it's a great reading to feel like you're getting insight and to feel like you are getting a little bit of information that's catered specifically to you, because I know that tarot can sometimes be very general, and depending on the reader, you can kind of feel like you're just getting basic information, whereas a channeled message, it feels more like, it can feel like a love letter, it can feel like a diary entry, it can feel like an email, but it basically is whatever this person is thinking and feeling towards you articulated in a letter format. So really love doing these, but whenever I channel, I have to kind of focus on it. So it's quiet in the chat. I am still here. I am still monitoring. And for everyone else, the lists are closed. If you're still on the list waiting for your turn, you can add to your reading. I'm just not taking any new donations. Oh my god. James, this energy that she's in is like crazy. I know. I mean, oh God. She just like has not been holding back lately. Remember, this is coming from her ego. This is coming from, yes, it real feelings. It is. It's real feelings, okay? But this is coming from an unhealed version of her. Will she be this way for the rest of her life? It's very possible. But you have to take it from the perspective that this is how she feels right now. This is her truth. And while it hurts, you have to remember you're a soul having a human experience, okay? And afterlife, if you guys never come back together in union, you can give her shit for that in the afterlife and be like, what the hell, man? What the hell was that? You know? But it's the problem is like we're very much in our ego right now. And it's like we want to see things manifest in physical form. We want to see things play out in real life, in real time. And I think that's where we get a little bit hung up and that's how we get stuck on people. But I think for her, she's really pushing you away. And I think it almost feels like the more you dig, the more mean she's going to get or something. Okay, James, that sounds good. Hey, Ashiana. My free list is closed for the night, friend. Actually, all my lists are closed for the night. Okay, let me check, sweeter. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah. Yes, it went through this time. Thanks, girl. Oh my gosh, you're so nice. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. James, do you just want to read it, or do you want me to read it out loud? Oh my gosh. Whoa, that's kind of weird. I'm sneezing during your reading, James. We all know what that means. Okay. All right. So she says, I can feel you pulling on my energy. Like, here we go again. I really just think how things are is for the best. I feel like things have been sitting on my chest, like I'm still pissed. You know that feeling when you're handed something and you can't quite bring yourself to care? Yeah, that's me. It's like I know there's something here, something I should be grateful for, but I'm just not feeling it. You know, the happily ever after, the whole we're soulmates thing, that's not happening. Definitely not with the way things have been going. It's funny how you get caught up in your own fantasies and then reality comes along and kicks you in the face. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised about that with you. That's why I was like, oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm still reading your message on Instagram. Honey, how bad is it out there? Has it come down a lot? Like, is my car covered? Okay. How was driving home?
Definitely hit some sketchy areas on the road.
I'm happy you're here safe. But it's Friday.
My heart really beat until I got in the driveway.
Your heart really beat until you got in the driveway? Because you were nervous to drive home? Was it really that bad out there?
It's pretty sussy.
Honey, I'm glad you were careful. Seems like you took like your time because you're getting home a little later than usual. All right, James. So there's your channel message. I read everything you said, and I agree. It did seem more of like a negative way of viewing life, but I think she's trying to come across like I don't really know. I don't know. It's not like a negative post, but saying the word stuck here feels almost like there's a longing, you know, for it to not be living in life, which is crazy. But at the same time, that's her own experience, that's her own opinion. Like you said, it just shows how different you guys are. So let's shuffle for your love too. So we have the moon for what she's giving to the connection. And this indicates that it's funny. It's actually really weird how you said it just shows how you view what did you say? I already forgot the exact wording. It was something about like it shows the way, stark differences in the way you view life because the moon is here and it's indicating that she's interpreting her own reality onto this connection. So the moon here is basically saying whether it's a misinterpretation or not, they say there's two sides to every story, then there's the truth in the middle. She's definitely putting her own interpretation of what she thinks is happening onto this connection. We also have the moon, which indicates quiet. It indicates silence. It indicates like just really not wanting to engage with you at all. She's kind of going through her own whatever, and she's just keeping her distance from you at this time. Thoughts and feelings. Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles in reverse. I think that she's viewing you as someone who's very hasty. Like, she's viewing you as someone who kind of just makes choices kind of out of how you're feeling. And that there could be some misinterpretations of your reality onto her. And she feels that when you're not getting what you want, then another side of you comes out that she doesn't like. She feels like you don't hear her. She feels like when she tells you one thing because it's not what you want to hear, you refuse to like hear her. So what's interesting is that you guys view each other exactly the same. In a weird way, you guys are like the yin yang. You want love from her, she doesn't want it from you. You think that she doesn't look at herself. She thinks you don't look at yourself. You think that she cherry picks certain aspects of the conversation that seem negative rather than looking at your conversation as a whole. She thinks you cherry pick when you don't hear what you want to hear instead of looking at what she's saying as a whole. Neither of you agree on the impression that you make on one another. Like, she doesn't agree with how you perceive her, and you don't agree with how she perceives you. And what's interesting is that you guys are so similar in that way. You know, like, it feels almost like you want to point the finger at her, rightfully so. You know, I don't ever want you to feel it when I say this. I'm trying to invalidate your feelings, but I'm saying you point the finger at her a lot. Like, you do say, like, this is what's wrong with her, this is why she won't this is why she won't that, because I think maybe internally you're trying to essentially, like, make excuses for why she's not pursuing a relationship with you, because that makes you feel better, to basically find her flaws, to explain away why she's not being with you. And I think that she does the same thing, but in the opposite form. She's looking for reasons to not be with you. She's looking for reasons to explain away why being with you is not a good idea. And it's like, I don't know how to change this. I don't know what the right answer is here. I don't know if it can be changed. I don't know if it will. But it feels like, because we have the Six of Pentacles, is that, and it's a balance that you guys have, the Six of Pentacles, but it's a balance in like a negative format rather than a Six of Pentacles upright where it's a balance in a positive format. I feel like, God, there's so many. You know what's interesting? I have a lot of pentacles here, and like every single pentacles, it talks about finances, poor finances, money problems in every single format. But I think that pentacles also can talk about security. It doesn't necessarily mean finances. It can mean what makes you feel secure. And it's basically saying, like, bad news here, that you won't feel secure in this relationship, that there's no intention that she has to make you feel secure with her. She plans on staying independent from you. Nine of Pentacles. So this is like, I'm on my own and I intend to stay on my own. The overall energy is the Sun in reverse, which talks about how she has a lack of enthusiasm for this connection. I think there is a small part of her that feels sad that it had to go this way. Because truth be told, I don't think she had any intentions on not being in your life. But I think that she knew that she wasn't going to give you more of what you wanted. And maybe she felt like, well, we'll keep having a conversation. We'll keep communicating unless and until I feel it's getting toxic, or he decides this enough is enough, or like I start getting uncomfortable with our relationship. Like, I think for her, she kind of just thought, well, if he could just accept things for how they are, then maybe we could just like be cool with each other. But so I think there is a level of sadness from her, that things kind of happened the way that they did. But I just don't think she's enthused. I don't think she's excited. When she thinks of you, she's not like happy. And again, that's another way that you guys are mirroring each other, is because when you're thinking about her, you're not happy either. The overall energy is the card of ego, a card of unexpression and oppression. And it's like, It's like, what's the opposite of vitality? It's like, because like the message here is miscarriage, stillbirth, abortion. It's like idea that was carried but wasn't able to fully play out. You know what I mean? Wasn't able to fully finish. So that's your love too. Let's shuffle for your next question. Okay. So I feel like I kind of already started answering this question in your love too, but let's pull some more cards and see if anything else comes out. Mm. Um okay. So we have the Two of Swords. You know, she's just kind of sitting on the fence. When she thinks about a romantic relationship with you, it stresses her out. She feels like it's a challenge to consider. For her to expect that of you, to be okay with that, is psychotic for us to remain friends. It's funny because I think that she genuinely thought that you guys could. Like, I think she might have felt like it was a little crush or something, like, and you'd get over it. Or maybe she thought she had a little crush and she'd get over it. I truthfully just like don't. I think what ended up happening is like somehow your feelings just got so much stronger, so much deeper, so much faster. And I think she just wasn't prepared for it. But I think that she wants to be cordial with you. And I don't think that in her mind she feels like that's such a crazy idea. But at the same time, she can't be inside your head. You know, you can't pick her up and make her small and put her inside your brain so she can feel what it feels like to consider that idea. She can only understand it from her perspective. And from her perspective, she was fine with that. Like, she thought that would be fine. But she doesn't truly understand the intensity of which you were falling for her. And how hard that is for you to get over and move on from. And so it's very clear that if there were feelings on her side, it was not as intense as yours. And so maybe for your perspective, understanding how you feel and looking at it from your perspective, psychotic is the right word. But from her perspective, it didn't seem like that hard to think of. Like, she didn't think that it seemed like that impossible. or whatever. Where did I leave off? Yeah, so basically she's on the fence. She's like, you know what? If we come back together and we can find a way to be good with each other, chummy with each other, great. If not, oh well. Like, I think she really is just trying not to have an opinion on it. We have the Empress here in reverse, and it's basically talking about how she feels like this connection wasn't bringing enough fulfillment. And again, you guys are mirroring each other. You weren't feeling the connection was bringing enough fulfillment. I hope you see what I mean by you guys are like the same. And for her, from her perspective, it wasn't feeling fulfilling enough because she felt like you guys were disagreeing on a lot. You guys were butting heads quite a bit. And she felt like, is it worth going through all of this with him for what? What am I getting out of this? Right? She felt like you might have been limited by her. She felt like she couldn't be what you wanted, and so she was limiting you from finding what it is that you were looking for. She could have felt in times that you were overindulging in fantasies rather than facing reality. And maybe she felt that you guys had transactional love, like maybe she felt, or not transactional love, but like a transactional like relationship. Like if you did something for her, she thought you expected something from her in return. She couldn't fathom that you would just do something out of the kindness of your heart. She always thought that whatever it was transactional, that if you did something or said something nice or did something for her, that you were expecting something from her. And she might have felt as well like there was a lack of boundaries that she always tried to put up, but she felt like you might possibly be trying to overstep or push past it because she would, and also like, I know that she would breadcrumb you too. Like, I know that there was things that she did that wasn't fair, but again, you're asking her perspective. I'm trying to be straightforward with you on that. It's still nuts to you how she could not feel that or be aware of that. I think I was very clear in my feelings. Well, there was obviously conversations that you had that I wasn't privy to. I definitely could sense and see how supportive you were to her and how like caring and how much effort you were putting into the connection. Was I ever privy to you confessing your feelings for her and putting it all out on the line for her? No. I did see some of that in retrospect when you sent me like screenshots of like when a couple weeks ago when you like finally had it. And so it was coming across kind of negative, but I don't know. Maybe you did put it all on the line. I mean, you had moments with her where it was just the two of you together. And I'm sure that there was a lot of like heart to hearts and stuff like that I wasn't a part of. I'm just saying, just the energy that I'm getting, just the impression, So I do think that she still thinks about you. It's like you cross her mind, like, you know how when someone you haven't talked to in a little while just like pops into your mind. It's kind of like, oh, James or Jim or whatever she calls you, and like, oh yeah, it's just like it feels fleeting. It doesn't feel like she's harping on it, but it does feel like you do cross her mind. You still do. But I think that she's focusing on the negative of your connection. And I think that's where she's kind of planted herself. I feel, James, what you need from her is like, you need closure. You need her to validate your feelings to move on. You don't, I want to say your soul does not need her to be with you romantically. You just need to feel seen, heard, and validated by her. You need her to say, hey, I've really thought about things. I don't agree with everything that you said, but I do respect that you feel that way. And looking back, I can see how certain things I did might have been misleading to you. Certain things might have given you the wrong impression, and I take responsibility for that, and I'm sorry for that. I really tried to like be clear, but I also understand that I should have been more considerate of you and should have been more careful with your heart and more considerate of your feelings. Because for me, I was thinking we were just like cool, we were friends, we shared interest, we, might have had a little crush on each other, but I really didn't think that it was as intense. And when I figured that out, it was a little too late. And I just want you to know that I validate you, that I see you, and I am sorry for my part in that. My responsibility for like leading you on in any way. I do care for you and I do respect you, but I know now that I can't give you what it is that you're looking for. And I just want you to know that I wish you the best. I wish you well. I don't harbor any feelings like hard feelings. And, you never know what could happen. You never know what the future will bring. But I do hope that when you think of me, you can be at peace with us and you can move forward. Like, I feel almost like you need that from her. Because I think one of the biggest parts that really was hard for you was feeling like she just completely like missed you. She completely misinterpreted who you were. You feel like she always thought you were like the bad guy. You were always out to like do something bad or negative or whatever. And like, she never really took the time to consider how certain things that she was doing could potentially be misleading or hurt you or make you feel a certain type of way. And I think that you just really need to be seen and validated by her. Will that solve all of your problems? No. Will you still feel like there's unfinished business here? Yes, probably so. However, I think she could release you. And I think that you could find peace with that. And I think that you could find a way to move forward and say whatever will be, but I am released from this. And I feel like she refuses to give that to you. And that's where you're having a hard time finding closure. Because like you even said to me, you were like, if she would have just like tried and it didn't work out, I could get over it. It's the fact that I never felt like I had that attention from her. I never felt like she really got me, saw me, understood me. She never validated me. She was always looking at the negative. And I think that if you could get that from her, that would be helpful for you. And I don't know, maybe you can take what I said if it felt right to you and you take what I said and just like tell your mind that that was Patty talking to you. I think do whatever it is that you can, because what I do think is that she is not. Do I think she's a caring person? Do I think that she can have a good heart? Do I think that she is capable and has the capacity to deliver that kind of message to you? Yes, I do. But I think that for her, there's some resistance to that. There's some resistance to giving in. Like you never even mattered. Exactly. What does a potential relationship look like in the future together for the two of them? But exactly, if we saw things through and didn't work out, that's one thing, but we didn't even try. I don't feel like I'm a main player at all in her life or I had any impact. And I'm sure that can be hard. Are you like ever upset with yourself that you might have spent so much time like on her that maybe you shouldn't have? Or do you feel like this is what you needed? This was what was supposed to happen as far as like your own personal journey? Do you feel like you gave it your best shot and like you can move on without any regret because there's you did everything you could? You feel like you were nothing to her and she looked for any little reason to create distance? Oh yeah, I believe that. What does a potential relationship look like in the future together? By the way, next up we have Deep and we have Philomena, and I will be signing off for the night. What does a potential relationship look like in the future together? Well, they are saying that in order for you guys to be together, you would go through a spiritual transformation. So that means that you guys. Oh, so this is interesting because last time I did a reading, they were saying that if you guys were to be together now on this current trajectory, that your relationship would look like this, and that. And that did not look very good. And what I'm getting shown now is that there's no trajectory even for that anymore, that that wouldn't even be a possibility even to have a bad relationship with her. They're saying that in order for you guys to be together, you would have to undergo a death, maybe a literal one, I don't know, maybe both. Oh my god, maybe both of y'all, maybe this doesn't happen until the next life or something, I don't know, but we'll take it symbolically for now. But they're saying that some kind of like spiritual transformation would happen before you guys would even come together. Cleansing, purging, stripping away, like becoming new versions of yourself. And I don't know, it's making me, God, I don't know why. It's making me feel like they're trying to say it's not going to happen in this lifetime. And this is so crazy to me. Do you feel that maybe you're giving up, James? Do you feel like your decision-making process is like shifted? Do you feel like you're like not even hopeful anymore for you guys to come together? Because it feels like there's been kind of like a readjustment as far as you guys being together in this life. I feel like I would always have a feeling of what if with her, and I needed to see things through, and I don't have any regrets because I gave it my all and had the best of intentions. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. Do you think you'll be able to be okay? I mean, do you think you'll be able to make peace or accept the fact that this may not happen in this lifetime? Because I feel very strongly like future potential feels like missed opportunity and stagnation. Very, very independent from each other. Separation. Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's just so weird. I've never done this. I've never seen this for you guys, but I'm getting the message that it's like a death that has to happen. Um, so I'm like, is it your own death? Like, is it the next life that we're talking about? Because that's what it feels like to me. I almost feel like the closer you get to Kira, the further away you move with Patty. I'm getting, oh my God, I'm getting like image of you proposing to Kira. It feels like it's happening outside. Like you proposing to Kira, it's happening outside. I think it's a public place, but I don't really see other people around. So I don't know if that's because you guys are just in your own world in that moment, or if like there's literally no one around. But it feels like it's outside. I'm seeing like trees. I feel like a railing. Maybe like some concrete slab somewhere, or like stone. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I suddenly just got this message that I feel like you're gonna marry Kira. You know, I got that impression as soon as I cut the deck and saw the Emperor card, which is like the husband card. Are you left-handed, James? I don't know why I asked that question, because like when I was looking at it, I was like thinking maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but I saw you going down on one knee, and I swear it felt like your right knee was down on the ground and your left knee was up. And then that made me feel like maybe your strength is more on like the left side of your body. So that's like a weird interpretation. But yeah, I truthfully don't know. It could just be the angle that I got the impression. It doesn't mean anything, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that message is closed out. You look like a lefty. Do you feel like your center of gravity like leans, like do you feel strong on your left side sometimes? Because like that's so funny that people tell you that. That's so interesting. So I don't know. My brother, he's ambidextrous. I dated someone in high school where if he was a skateboarder and he was right-handed, but he didn't skateboard like a right-handed person. He skateboarded like a left-handed person. Like his left foot was in the front instead of his right foot. You do. Okay. Because I don't know why, like the image was literally like your right knee is down, your left knee is up, and you're proposing. Like, I don't know. It's such a weird message, but okay, anyways. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that message, but that's what I got for you. You broke your right wrist pretty bad and became more ambidextrous. Oh, wow. You know what's funny too is that some people say they think they were supposed to be left-handed, but people kept putting the pencil or the pen in their right hand, and so they just became acclimated with being a right-handed person. But That's why when you're teaching a child how to write, you just put the pencil down on the table and you let them pick it up instead of putting it in their hand. You feel like all that love and intentions and energy you poured into Patty turned into Kira. Like it manifested in her. Wow, that's very, very profound, actually. I want to hear more about this girl. I hope you get a reading on her at some point. I know that you feel you don't need it because you're getting everything straight from the source. But she seems like she has a really beautiful energy and way about her, and so I hope at some point we do readings on her. I know. I remember you telling me that. All right, this question is for Deep. It's a yes, no elaboration. So Deep, I'm not sure if you're here or not, but I'm going to go ahead and answer this for you. And let me see the timestamp. James, thank you. I hope that this helped. Hey. Yeah, I should get a reading with Kira and I, but I have no... but exactly, I have no doubts with her. Right. So it's like you don't really need it. But you know what we could do at some point, James, even if it's not a tarot reading, we could always do, when I learn more, because we were talking about the matrix, you know. So we could always do like a matrix reading for you at some point with her as well, because that's, you know, that's not really tarot. It's more just like what more information that you don't know about your connection that I could provide. All right, culture. All right, culture. Can culture trust Brad to not use the things? Okay. Culture, I'm getting a no. I have the 5 of Cups. Culture, if you want more elaboration on this card, if you're not familiar with all the meanings, look up 5 of Cups. But it seems almost like you are going to be disappointed about what comes of this. And so maybe that's your intuition talking. I wish I had a different answer for you on that. But it feels like overall like a not good card, you know? Sounds good, culture. All right. Have a great night. Thank you so much for waiting as long as you did. I know you're waiting a long time, like 2 hours. No, 3. 12, 1, 2. Oh my God. You donated right at the beginning of the live stream. Philomena's also been waiting for a very long time. So Philomena, if you are here, please check in with me. It does not have your question on the donation, and I didn't get the question on Instagram either. Let me check one more place. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't look like... Oh, here we go. Philomena, hello. Take care. It's no problem. I like hanging out. Okay, perfect. Have a good night. All right, Philomena. How does your love life look in the summertime? Oh, okay. All right, let's see. I think that's a good call. I do. You never know, like, I mean, things can happen unexpectedly. All right, in June, I don't think you have great options. I see a page here, and that indicates to me that it's not quite what you're looking for, but you are open. The Hermit in reverse just indicates to me that you just really feel like you'd rather be alone than like have something that is not quite hitting the mark for you. And I see you in June as well being like extremely observant. So you might be like on dating apps as well, or like finding other ways to meet people, but maybe like taking the back seat when it comes to taking action. You're more in the space in June of I'm going to be watchful. I'm going to see what's out there. I'm going to see who approaches me, pursues me, but I'm going to be the one that's perceiving. I'm not going to be the one that's taking much action. And if someone wants to be with me, great. I will analyze that at that time. It feels very removed, like very like you're not trying to invest feelings in someone until you know for sure it's a sure thing. But I do feel that there is someone in June that you do have physical attraction to. I think you're just trying to figure out what else does this person have to offer. In July, I think that's when things start to turn around for you. You have the Wheel of Fortune. That indicates a turning point where things start really moving forward. We have the Chariot, which indicates determination. Determination and action. It's also the card of dedication. So there could be someone trying to dedicate their time to you, engage, apply more effort. It doesn't feel official or anything in July, but the Chariot is a very good indication of like good things to come because it's gaining momentum. It's things being on the move. And I think you're kind of like looking at what could possibly like come from this. And the Ten of Swords is in reverse, so it's making me feel like sorry, I got distracted. It's making me feel like you might feel like there's hope at the end of the tunnel in June. Or sorry, July, not June. July. We were doing July. All right. And then August.
This is mine right here on the bottom.
On the bottom next to the T. All right, and then we have the Six of Swords and the Ace of Cups. All right, so I do think that feelings are growing for someone in August. The Six of Swords indicates an easier time, more healing, an easier time forward. Maybe the love life doesn't feel as bleak or like dry. We have the Strength card here, which makes me feel like there's overcoming of your own personal self-doubt when it comes to your love life. I see a king here, a king of wands. So, did I have the page of wands in June? It's making me wonder if this person you meet in June develops into something more by August. Because yeah, it was the page of wands. Because the page grows into the king. So it makes me feel like maybe you feel more confident about this person in August. Or if it's not this person from June, then it's someone else that you feel is more your speed or is checking more of your boxes. And while you're simultaneously learning more about them, your feelings for them are growing as well and getting stronger because we have the Strength card. Yes. There's also a lot of attraction for this person as well. I think that they're just like the person in June. If it's the same person, then this still applies. If it's different people, then it's a similar energy. That this person that you're interested in is conventionally attractive. Like you find them attractive, but they are also attractive to majority of people. So this indicates just a very good looking person. And I think that there's a lot of chemistry and attraction and like libido inducing activities or like feelings. So yeah, it feels like there's definitely someone here by the end of summer and your feelings for them are growing. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I'm happy to do like a yes, no question real quick for you if you want to add to it. I mean, not add to it for a charge, but like if you want to follow up with a question, I'm happy to answer that for you, like for free. Okay, good question. You're right, because it could sound like a summer fling, I suppose. Will this person be serious? I am getting a yes. We have the Six of Swords. I don't think you're going to invest feelings into someone that you really don't think that it's going somewhere. We have the Judgment card. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. I think it's serious. I think it's leaning more serious than it is fling. I think this is a relationship that becomes whatever it is that you make it. So as long as you are making this person feel wanted by you and like respected and appreciated, and you're putting your time and effort and energy into this person, I think they will reciprocate. Because what goes around comes around with the Wheel of Fortune. So I think that if you're in a very like observation mode in June, you want to make sure this person doesn't think that you're aloof, that you don't care, that you're not interested. Because once you figure out that you are interested, you want to show that, because that potentially can make this person feel like you're not interested and that they need to move on from that. And then that could result in it not being serious. But I think this person comes into it with you as wanting to be serious. So I think that in August, when your feelings start getting stronger, as long as you haven't chased this person off by coming across uninterested, I think that they will reciprocate those feelings and want to pursue this and want to make this into something more official. Dang, microwave. So, Philomena, sorry, I was on mute because it was really loud in the background, but I was waiting for you to follow up if you had anything else to say. But that's what I've got for you, girl. Thank you so much for your patience and waiting. Remember, next time, if you don't want to wait, you can always donate to Skip. That's also an option. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the evening. I just want to thank you guys for a great Friday. Great way to end my week. It's been amazing. As usual, I'm taking the weekend off, and I will see you guys sometime next week. Have a great rest of your night and next weekend, I guess. All right. Bye, everyone.